But moving on to the next game, we have the Saints and Panthers at Carolina. Saints are favorited at 2.5. And why would they not be favorited? Have you seen the Panthers this year? Matt Rule is a horrible head coach. Baker Mayfield, his revenge tour is off to a great start. He lost to his former team, gave the game to the Browns, and then last week, there's another game to remember, 14 of 29.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is so embarrassing because this offseason, I get so annoyed because some people thought it was casually cool to be like, yeah, I think, the Panthers could make the playoffs. And I'm like, what?
No, they can't.
What are you thinking? The Panthers can't make a playoff run. I'm like, you're marginally getting better from Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. And they're like, no, Baker didn't get a fair shot in Cleveland. Whatever. It's like,
how did not get a fair shot?
Yeah. And
explain that to me. Ridiculous.
Then when I'm like, oh yeah, how about the Panthers? They're like, oh, well, I'd like to think we're both wrong because you just said they'd be average. I'm like, no, I was like average to really bad. I just try and give people the benefit of the doubt. But
I'm sorry,
the Saints scored 10 points versus the Bucks and had a really emotional game. What they want to do is take out all that pain and suffering they just faced versus the Buccaneers and take it out on the Panthers. Michael Thomas probably going to explode in this game. Jameis is going to be throwing touchdowns everywhere, and he's going to have a big game. And then why would the Panthers score points in this game? Like, how are they going to move the ball when you hold Tom Brady 20 points?
All you need to know is that the last 5 years, the Saints are 8-2 against the Panthers.
8-2.
And those two losses, one of those losses was because Jameis Winston had a Jameis Winston meltdown. That was actually one of his last games before he got hurt, sadly. And then the other game was just a fluke game.
Is that the Cam Newton game?
I'll check. But all I know is that the Saints, they have a lot more things to look up to compared to the Panthers. The Panthers, and first of all, to your buddy who dunked on you because you're like, yeah, I think they're going to be average, and then they're worse. How is that like?
That's not a dunk.
How is that? That's not dunking on you, man. That's like, oh, I'm sorry. I gave them optimism, and I was wrong. It's like, no.
I try and be optimistic on every team because it's better for football when everyone plays to their full capabilities. But some people insist on throwing for 202 and 145 when you're supposed to be proving the world wrong. Like, is Baker Mayfield not playing for a contract? Did I miss that? Who paid you? You haven't gotten your multi-million-dollar deal contract extension.
And he's not going to.
You should be playing the best football of your career. And then you can't say, oh, well, he has a lot of weapons in Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. And then be like, well, he doesn't have a lot of weapons in Christian McCaffrey's ours. No. It doesn't work that way.
No, I know. I feel that way. DJ Moore is a good receiver. Christian McCaffrey at his prime was one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best running back in the league. Their weapons aren't the problem. The problem is when your quarterback completes less than 50% of his throws.
Yeah.
So no, that's fourth down conversions. That's third down conversions. If you're completing less than 50% of your throws, your offense is not going to be
running back.
Yeah, and you're not. You're not at all. You think you are, but you're not. Saints, lock. I have them winning this game.